So I haven't uploaded in a week. I've been playing The Messenger. The Messenger is a Metroidvania 2D platformer that is super fun. The lore is really interesting, and one of my viewers actually suggested I play the game and cover the lore. So I'm gonna be talking about the lore of this certain group of characters known as the Order of the Blue Robes. So let's do this. Also, I don't have The Messenger on PC, so I'm just gonna use some Dirtmouth footage that I recorded. The Blue Robes were founded after Phantom sent the scroll to the human refuge. The people who came in contact with the scroll became Order of the Blue Robes. They built the Tower of Time inside of the Void. That's really the main origin of the Order. Messengers and Western heroes all became members of the Order at some point. Next up, we'll talk about what the Order actually does. The Order's main goal is to prevent the corrupted future from becoming an actual reality. They are in a constant war with the demons. The Order consists of retired messengers, and they built the Tower of Time to serve as their headquarters. They test the messengers in the Order to see if they are worthy of holding the scroll. The current members are the shopkeeper, the artificer, the prophet, and the Iron Hood, so let's talk about those guys. The shopkeeper was the very first messenger. And her, yes, the shopkeeper is female, it says so on the wiki, her ancestors were the people who built the Tower of Time. She runs the shop and is aware of the fourth wall. She is the shopkeeper for every messenger. With the shop being in the Tower of Time, she is always seeing the current messenger. She also has the ability to travel across dimensions and timelines, because you see her talking with the cowboy, which is in a totally different timeline, because you beat the game and lifted the curse in your timeline. The shopkeeper has a surplus of stories to share with you. All of them have a certain meaning to them. The shopkeeper has a cage with a tentacle monster in it. The monster seems to be a former adventurer, because the shopkeeper kinda says so. The shopkeeper seems to be aware of a lot of things, like the different timelines and the importance of time in the game. Similar to Sans from Undertale, they are aware of everything, except Sans uses it to stop you, where the shopkeeper just uses it to crack funny jokes. The shopkeeper also has a closet. You can get a ton of random lectures when you keep interacting with the closet. Halfway through the game, you find out what's inside the closet. It's just a bunch of robes. You end up getting one, and you join the Order, even though you still have to be the messenger. The Artificer is a robotic creature that was built to keep the memory of a group of child engineers. He works for the Clockwork Concierge, but we don't know what he did for the Concierge. He is the one who built a lot of the things in the HQ. He most likely built the portals, and he built the arcane golem. The Artificer is obsessed with the arcane golem. He wants a bigger budget so he can buy even more arcane golem parts. Where would he buy arcane golem parts? You get those off of eBay or Amazon or something like that? He wants the parts so he can make the golem bigger. He was the one to give the scroll to the monk. He seems to be researching things from the corrupted future, because you can find a tentacle that can be found in the corrupted future. He always wants to do the thing in order to get out of sticky situations, and it usually works, such as the ending for both the main game and the DLC. The Artificer doesn't seem to be taken seriously most times because of his desire to do the thing. The Artificer is the one who designed and built the Tower of Time challenge. The Prophet is obsessed with the prophecy and loves doing an epic, dramatic voice. The origin of this epic voice is that the Prophet and some friends were playing some D&D, and then the Prophet was visited by the Western hero, and then the Prophet carried the scroll across the island and then became a blue robe. Until this day, the Prophet still believes that this is all just a part of an epic D&D night. The Prophet is one of the smartest characters in the game. He's aware of certain things that can happen, such as the mask appearing after Phantom was freed. You might be thinking, who is the Iron Hood? Well, you find him in the money sink in the shop after you get the monkey wrench. He is a legendary craftsman who made the climbing claws, wingsuit, and rope dart. He makes toys that resemble certain bosses in the game, so he might be watching you throughout your adventure. It would make sense that the Iron Hood was an old adventurer, because you see his sword used in his statues, as well as his sword resting up on the wall of his shop. The members of the Order aren't actually aware that the Iron Hood is still alive. Some artificer dialogue says, Could he be alive? He loves making toys, and he tends to laugh while talking. It's always nice to see someone who does something that they enjoy as a job. John Guyden is Ironhood's full name. I can't find the bit of the shopkeeper dialogue, but I feel like the shopkeeper did mention John Guyden near the beginning of the game. The arcane golem is made by the artificer and is used as a final test at the end of the Tower of Time. The arcane golem requires multiple people who have had contact with the scroll in order to power it. The more people who do the thing, the more power the golem will have. The artificer uses some of the budget in order to get more golem parts, and he wants a bigger budget so he can make a bigger golem. So that's the Order of the Blue Robes explained. Hope you enjoyed this video about the messenger. Make sure you subscribe and hit the bell. And have a good one, and sweet dreams.